Hello, this is Andrew Cheng. I'm gonna show you a demonstration of CubeMaster Online. This is presented by Logen Solutions USA by using CubeMaster Online, which is #1 load plan optimization software. We are located in Silicon Valley, California. We have more than 5,000 installations in the world, and we have 13,000 subscribers. In this time, I'm gonna show you how to build a C container load. It will include Excel importing, building unit load, building mixed load. And we are going to talk about how to load in sequence. And we are going to see how to make a stacking and palletizing. We are going to talk about grouping and group sequences. And I'm going to show you how to create report from the load, and then I will show you how to save your changes into the load. We need to start CubeMaster Online by using your web browser. My computer has Windows 11 and the web browser was Chrome. So you are going to access CubeMaster Online by providing your credential. I'm using my credentials in my Chrome web browser. To start a new C container load, we need to go to Home. And in the New, we are going to choose this button, which will move us to a different screen, which is Build. In this screen, we are going to build two steps. First one is you have to tell CubeMaster which C containers are available for the shipment. Second step is you have to build the list of your cargoes, which will be placed into the C container you provided in step #1. And then CubeMaster will try to build your C containers, and the result will be shown step #3. If you go to step #1, CubeMaster will be bring the default settings in your screen. If you want add more, just press plus button and click the bring database. This will show you the C container database in your master data. We can choose 40-feet dry container because it was not provided in step #1. So choosing the line and pick the selection button. You can see it has been added to the list, and then we are going to close this window. Now we have 3 different C containers. You can choose different view to see the graphics, and you can click this button to see the detailed information. Now we are going to go forward to step 2. In this screen, as I told you, we need to build the list of cargoes to be placed in the C containers. Pressing plus button, you are going to bring database, but as I told you before, I'm going to use uploading Excel file. So this is going to give you the selection of Excel file from your computer by pressing this button. So this is showing you the list of file in your computer, actually my computer. So I'm going to use this file. Let's see how it looks like. This has this is an Excel file which includes the cargo step, and then it has the column names which were defined by CubeMaster. So I mean, the column name should be considered by CubeMaster. So the column descriptions are shown on another tab, so you have to read which column names are available. So the SKU name, SKU dimension, SKU weight, and the quantity. So this is the number of pieces to be shipped, and then it has some prices and the other information too. So I'm going to choose this file and press open. This will upload the Excel file. CubeMaster Online will scan and import the data from your Excel file. So this message shows everything was successful without any error. If I close this window, we can tell the same data has been imported from the uploading your Excel file. So if you want to change some of them, just enter new data like this. So the changes will be applied at the same time you made the change. If you want to see the detailed information, just press that button and you can change the other information too. So if you close this button, if you close this window, you're gonna see the changes has been made immediately. Okay, now we are ready to go. We are going to press this button. And you may see if the response comes to your web browser, you are going to move to the step number 3. So this is showing us the solutions which were built by CubeMaster, and then we can tell we need 2 seed containers to ship your order, which was 75 pieces and 16 pallets. And then we can see this list shows us all the seed containers built by CubeMaster. So if we close, and we can see there are 2 seed containers. The first one was 40 feet high container, and the last one was 20 feet dry container. So you may understand why CubeMaster selected 2 different seed containers because of the volume. The first one was filled as much as possible, and the second was less filled. That's why CubeMaster just chosen the smallest seed containers in the list. So in step number 1, we can tell 20 feet dry container was the smallest one, and 40 feet high was the greatest one. So we can understand CubeMaster was trying to put as much as possible in the largest, greatest seed containers, and then CubeMaster just tried to build the smallest seed container because of there were no more volume of cargoes to be shipped. And then we can see the detailed information for each seed container in the list. So this is telling us the number 1 container has 54 cargoes and 11 pallets. So we can tell those are pallets, and then the total pieces were 54, and then I'm sorry, this was second one. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the second one because we are watching the second one in this screen. So we can tell it had 21 cargoes total and 5 of them were pallets. So we can tell those are pallets. And then the volume utilization was more than 56 and the volume was 8.37 cubic meters. So we can tell there is a weight and the prices. So if we move to first container, we can see the detailed information. And if you want to see the list of load, just press this button and it will expand the lines. So this is the list of all the load in this C container. So if you click the line, we can see the detailed graphics at the right side. So we can see there are 3 pieces like here, and then the size was like this, and then the volume was 2.31 cubic meter, and then the weight was 3 kilogram, and the price was 27.33. So you may see we provided the price for each cargo. So this is going to be considered as a value, the value of each cargo. And then the result shows us what was the total value in this container, and then what was value per cubic meters. And then this is the value of the displacement. So if we scroll down, we can see all the other informations, and the last one looks like this. Okay, so CubeMaster was trying to build the optimal C container load, but it will provide you more choices for better settings. You know, if you want to put some of them earlier than the others, you can utilize the sequence. So this is giving you the chances to set which cargoes will be placed earlier than the others by utilizing the sequence. So you may understand if you press this icon, the new column just came up. So this is the sequence. You can define each cargoes would have a different sequence over the same sequences. So in this sample, I'm going to tell you if you provide the largest sequences, that means this will be placed the last time. And in the other word, the zeros are the smallest sequences. All the cargoes with the same sequences will be placed in terms of maximizing the space utilization, and then finally the skew with the greatest sequence value will be placed. So let's try to see by pressing this button. Okay, we have results. So if you go to scroll and if you look at the number 2, we can see the skew 0001 was placed the last time because we gave the greatest sequence to this cargo. So this is how you utilize the loading sequences. And then we can see another options, which is floor stacking. So if you press this button, you are going to see new columns show up. So this is telling CubeMaster you want to put some priority for stacking a certain cargo in terms of supporting the others, or you can place a cargo to a certain positions in terms of bottom and top. So I mean, let's say this SKU number 5 would not support others. That means nothing else will be placed on top of this cargo because it doesn't support others. And moreover, you can define these cargoes always should be placed bottom only, no bottom, best fit. That means placing this cargo anywhere because you don't take care of the position of this cargo. So by doing this, you can define the multiple choices because I mean, if you want SKU number 2 will support others, but you want to put this cargo bottom only or no bottom. So that means this was told no bottom. That means this cargo will be placed always on the top of everything else. So this is very useful parameters to specify the stacking relationship between two different cargoes. Okay, so let's see how it works by making very simple sample. Let's make it just bottom only, and then let's just no bottom. So that means SKU number 5 would not support anyone else, and it should be placed on top of everything else. Okay. Okay, we have a result, and let's take a look at. So we have a SKU number 5. So this was placed on the top of number 8, like this. And let's see here again. So it was placed on the top of 13. And let's keep looking at. And here you go. And it was placed on SKU 9. Okay, and here you go again. Yeah, so the stacking was made exactly what expected. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about how to utilizing the palletizing. We go back, step number 2. We will not use the other parameters, but we are going to keep palletizing. If we press this button, you may see we have 2 more columns here. So in this column, you have to choose this cargo is palletized or not. and if it is, you have to define the further configuration for the palletizing. So let's try to change the dimension because all those are too big for the pallet loading. So I will pick this one, and then I'm going to change way smaller. Okay, and we will increase 200, and then I'm gonna delete some of them. Okay, so I will turn on this parameter because I'm going to use palletizing for this cargo, and then you're gonna see a pop-up window which will you define the pallet configuration. I'm going to choose the pallet. So this is the database of pallet. So you are going to see the different data on your computer because those are sample. I will choose this one, GMA, and it shows the dimension of this pallet as well as the weight and the style and color and max height, max weight. So everything will be changed by you. So I will change a little bit higher, and then we can see the 3D graphics changes, and it tells us 64 pieces placed on a pallet. Okay, now we are done. Just press this button to close it. Okay, now we are utilizing the palletizing, and then I place pallet configuration for this cargo SKU number 1, and let's try to build up. Okay, we have results. So let's check that the parameter worked. SKU number 1 like this. So you can see SKU number 1, SKU number 1, SKU number 1. The first SKU number 1 was placed into GMA pallet number 1, which was 64, and then SKU number 1 again placed into second pallet, which was GMA number 2, and then it had 64, and then the other 64 of SKU number 1 were placed into number 3 GMA like this. So this is how you utilize the palletizing. So this is going to give you very good features to place your cargoes on a pallet before being placed into truck or sea containers. Okay, when you utilize the palletizing, there are small icons on the graphic. So if you press back, you can see the pallet detail on the 3D graphic. Or if you want just a big cube on a pallet, just press this button again. So that will give you a small clean box shape. But the data does not change. The 3D graphics just did. Okay, and then we are going back and utilize the other parameter, which is grouping. So if I press this button, that means I'm going to utilize the grouping, which is cargoes of same group placed together. By doing this, you may see new columns groups, and then the same groups were kept together, and then you can see the group data shows us the sum of each group. So it tells us there are 2 cargoes on the group B, and then the total amount was 10, and the other group A has 220, which was 5 different cargoes, and then the other group C has 13, and then it's made up 2 cargoes like this. So you can see we have 3 different groups, and then if I press this button, CubeMaster will try to build a C container load which were divided into 3 different groups. So you can see the first was group C, and then another group A followed up, and then if we scroll down, we can see the last group B followed up. So we can tell each groups were placed together without being mixed up with other groups. So we can utilize the filter to see specific group. So if you click the group column, you can choose one of them from the selection box. If we click B, the list will show up. The cargoes only has B. So if we press each line, you're gonna see the 3D graphics, and then if you want to see all, just press the white, the blank. So now we just got back, but you can see the group C was placed first, and group A second, and group B the last. If you want to put some sequences like A is first, B is second, and C is the last, you need to press the rules buttons, and then we have to define the groups. So because we have utilized the cargoes of same group placed together, so it's on, but now we need more. Press this button to define the sequences for groups. So you can see the list shows A is 1, B is 2, C is 3 in the sequence column. So if you press this button and save the changes, and just press this button again. Okay, now we have a new result which shows us exactly what we expected. So A was placed first, and B comes next, and C comes last, because we utilize the group sequences. Okay, now we are going to create some report in this screen. So this is report. In this screen, you are going to see the available report at the left side, and then if you press the title, you're gonna see the report on the right side. So this is placement, and then it shows the same title, and this is the contents of the report you wanted to see. And then if you press the load summary, you're gonna see the summary of your load, which tells you about what was the load type, what was the title, and who made it, and when was made. And then it shows the summary of your shipment. The total was 243 and something like that, and you're gonna see the total volume, weight, price. And if you scroll down, you're gonna see the summary of your shipments. We provided step 1, step 2, so those information comes here. Step 1, step 2, and then we can see the grouping, and then each group has sequence like this, and then this is the solutions. So this was the result in the build screen. So anyway, this is what we call solutions. If you want to see more detail of the solution, just press this button, which will give you a beautiful report like this. So it gives you the name of your seed container and 3D graphics, and the overview, which is the number of cargoes, pieces, length, utilization. This is 86% utilized on the length, and then floor percent. This is the utilization on the ground, and then the volume is the utilization of the volume. So that means 63 of the volume occupied by the load. And then we can tell the weight total, and then what was the loading weight. So weight total includes the weight of the equipment. And then we can tell the size total. So this may be the size of your seed container, and there is another dimension which is loading size. So this is the size of loading, which might be shorter than size total. And then there is a center of gravity here, that might be around here, and then there are the number of pallets. So you can tell there are some pallet shapes, so the total pallet on this seed container becomes 11. And then we can see the other information, like the list of load, or load list, or manifest, whatever it is. We can tell the first line was SKU number 1, and the dimension was like this. And then we can tell the volume, weight, price. This was the value. And if we scroll down, we can see all the informations, and it shows us total 9 cargoes, 3 groups, and the total quantity, and total cubic meters, total kilogram, total value, something like this. So we can tell this was an overview for each seed container, but this is exactly what your operators looking forward. So I mean, it provides you step-by-step informations to build up. So if you follow the sequence number, that's going to build up your seed container load. So the first step was SKU number 1, and the quantity was 120, and this is arrangement, and this is the direction to build this placement. And then if you scroll down, you're gonna see the other steps as well. Okay, so now we have the last step, which was 34, and the last item was like this. Yeah, this is the loading instruction. So if you print this, just press the print button, so it will give you a print preview. And if you want send this information to your printer, just press the save button. Just print button. Or you can save this report to a PDF file by pressing this button. So it will CubeMaster will try to save the same report to a PDF file which is downloaded your computer. So this PDF file was just made and downloaded to my computer. If you click this one, you can see the same information you have seen in CubeMaster. And then there are some settings that can be customized by you, so you can change the graphic style on the report and the size of the graphics and the number of pictures per line. So as I told you, there is a steps, but you can change the number of steps per line by increasing the graphic sizes. Okay, and so if you want make the colors just black and white, press this button for your black and white printer. So if we wait a little bit, we can see the changes. Okay, all right. If we go back to the build screen, we have to save my changes. Please locate this icon and press it. So you have to provide a title which describe your load, like this one, and then you can put a longer description in this area, and you can decide this load will be shared by the other users in your company. So if you check this on, that means the load with this title will be accessed by the other users in your company. If you press the save button, it asks you, it will be overwritten because the same title exists. If I press OK button, the changes were saved, and then you can see the message. And then if you go back to the home, recently saved, you can see there is a new entity which were we just created, and then there is many more because this is shared. So this share screen will be seen by the other users, so they will not see the same title, and they can open in their side. So you can see there is some brief information of this load. So the C container was number 1, and there are cargoes, pieces, length utilization, and the other informations. Very useful to understand the overview of this load. So next time, if you see, you can click the title and open it, and then you can change the data, C containers, cargoes anytime, and you can press the calculate button to apply the changes and build a new load. Okay, all right. This is what I brought today. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.